In August 2017, the police made a press release regarding their recent operations, which noted that 32 people were killed by the police in simultaneous one-time big-time operations from the 15th to the 16th of August 2017. This press release, which can be found at tab 108, is visible on our screens. In the headline, we read, quote, 32 killed, 107 arrested, as firearms, grenades, and numerous illegal drugs were seized in Bulacan, PMP, simultaneous big-time operations. I'm focusing, Your Honours, on the paragraph at the bottom of the screen. We see that the deaths of these 32 people were recorded as, quote, significant results, end quote, of the, quote, intensified campaign against illegal drugs, otherwise known as Project Double Barrel Reloaded, end quote. And this was essentially a reinvigorated version of Project Double Barrel, as set out in our brief footnote 37. And the press release goes on to name the 32 victims of this operation, which included 3 victims who are victims of charged incidents 28 and 29 in this case, who were murdered, consistent with the pattern of the other incidents in count 3, as set out in paragraphs 131 to 132 of our brief.
This is quite exciting.
Your Honours, 32 individuals killed by the police in Bulacan in a 24-hour period. You would imagine this would be a major national incident. So how did Mr. Duterte react to this shocking news? Let's hear what he said, and for reference, this is tab 147.
Yung namatay daw kanina sa Bulacan 32 in a massive raid. Ganda yun. Makapatay lang tayo ng another 32 every day, then maybe we could reduce the what is this country.
So that was the President's message in response to the death of 32 Filipinos in a single day. He essentially said to the police, well done, keep going, let's kill another 32 every day. And, Your Honours, in this context, as you would expect, the killings went on and on. This phase of one-time, big-time operations continued until around the 18th of August 2017, resulting in many more deaths. As one witness stated, quote, it was hunting season, a killing spree, end quote. And that's at tab 77. And on the evening of the 16th of August, in the midst of this killing spree, perhaps at the same time as Mr. Duterte's speech in Bulacan, a 17-year-old child named Kian de los Santos was murdered in Caloocan, the location of which is marked on our screens. And this is charged incident 30. As usual, the police claimed that Kian de los Santos shot at them and they were forced to shoot him dead in self-defense. Another victim blamed for his death. As set out in our brief, paragraph 133, this account is contradicted by CCTV footage showing police dragging the child across the ground, and other evidence shows that after pleading for his life, he was shot twice in the head. The next slide is a graphic image, Your Honours, and that's tab 151. On our screens, we see the tragic image of the body of the 17-year-old child, Kian de los Santos. And as noted in our brief, paragraph 56, this brutal murder led to a massive public outcry across the Philippines. And in these circumstances, exceptionally, the direct perpetrators of these murders were prosecuted and they were imprisoned. And in the face of this public outcry, Mr. Duterte was forced to temporarily withdraw police from drug operations from the 10th of October to the 4th of December 2017. And this led to a reduction in the frequency of killings. In announcing this temporary withdrawal, Mr. Duterte sarcastically stated that he hoped that this would satisfy, quote, bleeding hearts and the media, end quote. And in this way, he publicly communicated that this was not a genuine effort to prevent crime, but rather a temporary attempt to placate public criticism. And less than 2 months later, Mr. Duterte decided to once again scale up operations. He ordered the PNP back into the campaign, and the killings once again intensified. And, Your Honours, regrettably, children continues to be the victims of these killings. Your Honours will recall that at the very start of his presidency, Mr. Duterte gave a speech in Tondo, and we saw a part of it earlier. This is tab 127 on our list of materials, and we'll watch another portion of that speech now.
Yung mga adik ho dyan, kayo na lang ho ang pumatay. Kung anak niya, ikaw ang pumatay. Anak niyang adik, kayo ang pumatay para hindi masyado masakit.
If it's someone's child, be the killer yourself. If someone's child is the addict, then you be the one to kill. Your Honours, it's worth pausing here, taking a step back and reflecting on what we are seeing and what we are hearing. This is the President of the Philippines, the Commander-in-Chief, the most powerful man in the Philippines. He's pointing directly at the crowd, and he is telling them to kill someone else's child. Kill them, not because they are an alleged drug lord, not even an alleged criminal, but simply because they may have an addiction to drugs. And this is an example, perhaps, of what the defense described yesterday as Mr. Duterte speaking, quote, openly from the heart, sincerely and truthfully, end quote. And that's transcript 4, page 37, lines 15 to 16. And during an earlier part of the same speech, Mr. Duterte also boasted that during his presidency, funeral homes would make a lot of money. Let's play that clip.
Sabihin ko sa inyo, itong mga panahon, itong mga araw na dadating, kung may punerarya ho kayo, kikita kayo ng husto. Tayo ko yung mga small time na punerarya dito, doon. At sigurado hindi kayo malugi. At pag humihina na ang negosyo ninyo, sabihin ko lang sa mga polis, bilis-bilisan ninyo ng konti para kumita yung tao sa negosyo nila. Ayun, sinasabi ko na sa inyo. Hindi ako nagbibiro.
So again, here's the president assuring funeral homes that if their business declines, he will, quote, tell the police, hurry up a little so people can make money from their business, end quote. And he stressed very clearly he was, quote, not joking. And as my friend said yesterday, transcript 4, page 30, lines 18 to 19, quote, for President Roddy, his word was his word, and the people knew it, end quote. In this context, to conclude, I'll focus briefly on incident 3845. As your honours know, in the course of these incidents, which occurred during 2018, on 2 separate occasions, the police detained a child aged around 14 or 15 years old. On each occasion, the police wrapped the child's head in packing tape so no one could hear them scream, and then strangled the child to death with wire. It's difficult to imagine a more terrifying end to 2 lives that had barely even begun. And these murdered children were then sold to funeral homes, who profited from their bodies, as explained in paragraphs 142 and 150 of our brief. Your Honours, dead children, police ensuring that funeral homes made money. Mr. Duterte, indeed, was not joking. Thank you, Your Honours. This concludes my presentation. I now hand over to Ms. Croft.
Merci beaucoup, monsieur.
Judge Motosh, thank you very much, Mr. Prosecutor, for your presentation. I think we are going to observe a break of 40 minutes up to 11:30 a.m. Thank you very much.
A rolling stone. Rolling out. Tiny coming in.
The enemy denied their middle tower.
Edge from my stones. Don't carve my headstone yet.
A spot of trouble at your top tower.
Feel nature's rush.
Your top tower is under attack.
Rock on. Going. You got it. Right away. Head for the quarry. Forward. Let's get out. Going.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Rolling out.
Your middle tower is not doing well.
A rolling stone.
And so ended the story of your middle tower.
I gather your tree. I'm under attack. Forward.
Act like you've been there before.
Your middle tower is under attack. Your top tower craves your attention.
Between a rock and a dead place.
Your top tower is under attack.
For the quarry. You got it. Sure. Rolling. My favorite quarry. Of course. You got it. rolling stone. Sure. Right away. I'm free.
Nothing.
Rolling.
Just ends.
It's not time. Rock on.
Radiant's courier was lost in the heat of battle.
Next life.
You'll never stand before Mars.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is being invaded.
Time to rock the boat.
There's still work to do. Radiant structures have been secured.
Head for the quarry. Going.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
I gather no loss. Tiny coming in. I gather no loss. A rolling stone. Stonefall. Of course. Head for the quarry. Double damage.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Going. Rolling out. Fresh mate. Forward. You got it. Yes. Not yet.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
Rock on. Right away. Sure. You got rocks in your head. Of course. Rolling stone. Yes.
Is empty.
Not yet. No hard feelings. And without end. You got it. Going. Rolling. Tiny coming in.
was slain by courageous Radiant.
Right away. Forward. Hey, boy! Fresh mate! Right away. Come to leave us. Head for the quarry!
Dire structures are fortified.
More for your money.
A spot of trouble at your top tower. And that was the end of your top tower.
The seeds of fortune. Rock on! A rolling stone. Yes. Going.
Beneath a tree.
You made the bedrock, now die in it. Of course.
Of me?
Rolling. Tiny staff. This way. Avalanche. You got it. Back to the grindstone. Going. Annie, coming in. Forward. Rock on. Fresh mate. Right away. Dominating. Rockfall coming. Yes. Sacred grove awaits. Understand who you're dealing with? Shit. Rolling out. Head for the quarry. A rolling stone. I gather no Tiny coming in. Rock on. Stonefall. My favorite one.
Your bottom tower is being invaded.
Sure.
Dire has strengthened their structures.
Of course.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Flash, your bottom tower is no more.
You got it. I'm under attack. Going. Thus are mountains built. Tiny coming in. Rolling. Rock on. I gather no. Rolling out. Head for the quarry. Going. You got it. Sure. Yes. Right away. Forward. The seeds of fortune. A rolling stone. Right away.
It's me.
Of course. Rolling. Going. Rock on. Yes.
Your top tower craves your attention.
Rolling out.
Your top tower is under attack.
You're not going anywhere.
Not.
So that's how it is.
Let's just call it murder.
Nature's triple kill from limb. A rolling stone. Tiny coming in. You got it. Unstoppable. Sure. Smash them. Rock on.
Welcome to the secret shop.
Going. Regeneration. Rolling stone. Right away. Rockfall coming. What have we here? Tiny coming in. Of course. I gather no. Head for the quarry. Rolling illusion. Forward. Rolling out. Yes. Sure. Triple kill. Roots and run. Head for yes. Glory settle.
Wasteful abandon.
Regeneration. Rolling out.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Rolling. Of course. You got it.
The enemy's top tower has fallen.
Rockfall coming. Head for the quarry.
Your enemy's top tower was destroyed.
Of course.
I see that Radiant just fortified their structures.
I gather no thought. A rolling stone.
The enemy's top tower is now ash and dust. The enemy's bottom tower is utterly beyond repair. The enemy's top barracks have fallen.
Coming.
The enemy's middle tower was torn down.
A rolling stone. Stone. Right away. Warriors of the wood. Going.
Your enemy's bottom tower was destroyed.
Unstoppable.
Let's see them try that again.
It's hard to be this good. Sure. But I'm not. Of course. Rock on. You got it. Rockfall coming. Yes. What have we here? Rolling. Head for the quarry.
for me. Too much for you.
The enemy's bottom barracks have fallen. Shoot to kill, I see. The enemy's middle tower has fallen. Another one back. That was the demise of their middle barracks. The enemy's middle barracks were destroyed. Now have mega creeps. Valiant deeds indeed. Your enemy's middle tower is gone. Gallant Radiant fortified their structures. The enemy's middle tower was torn down. You win.
Ay sinabi mo rin sana kanina, sinabi mo rin kanina criminals yung papatayin niya eh.
Tina-traumatic pa rin sa kanya.
32 killed, 107 clear that this promise of protection.
I found very interesting.
And as president, Mr. Duterte expanded and replicated this Davao model across the Philippines, working together with many of the same people, his co-perpetrators, following the same plan and using the same methods. On becoming president, Mr. Duterte appointed his co-perpetrators from Davao, a number of whom Mr. Nichols introduced yesterday, to senior positions in the police and the government. And in these high-level positions, Mr. Duterte and his co-perpetrators had authority over thousands of state personnel, including those that formed a national network that the co-perpetrators used to carry out the charged crimes, as Ms. Croft will shortly describe in more detail. And Your Honours, central to this plan to carry out the charged crimes was the formal national anti-illegal drugs campaign in the Philippines. And this campaign was launched through a document titled Command Memorandum Circular number 16, 2016. This was issued by newly appointed PNP Chief Ronald De La Rosa on the 1st of July 2016, the first full day of Mr. Duterte's presidency. On our screens, we see the first and last page of this document, and this is tab 112 of our binder. We see that the subject is, quote, PNP Anti-Illegal Drugs Campaign Plan, Project Double Barrel. And we see it is dated the 1st of July 2016. On the first page, there are a series of supporting references for this memorandum. And the first foundational reference is the quote, pronouncement of President Rodrigo R. Duterte to get rid of illegal drugs during the first 6 months of his term. And yesterday we heard multiple examples of the violent nature of those pronouncements and speeches. If we
Nothing to it. Just hastening the inevitable. Move it! Wait, the creeps have pockets? I choose this path myself. Spears up! A step towards victory! This way. Aha! With divine grace. March! Aha! Fall in! Execution! Here you go! Glory! Our lines will never break! No quarter! The dogs are on us! My plate resounds. Take it from me, Skywrath. That ship has sailed. Clear a path! To the last! Strike fear! over. Denied! Huzzah! I hunt! To what end? Ready! Marathon?
Taking 3 damage instead of 5.
Battle awaits! It's gonna be a massacre! To me! I've got this! Indeed! You'll be destroyed! Denied! Move out! I'm under attack! No, I'm under attack!
Mystic pala siya.
Go, go! That's the right of it. Well, Muller's over.
Nice try.
A step towards victory. Clear up hands. Pin doesn't even describe it. My plate resounds. Denied. We go. With pleasure. I never let go of my shield. A time for blood. Hold it.
Something troublesome is happening to your bottom. Tower.
As the Pickus flies. Just don't tell my father.
Go on, get out of here.
Oops.
To what end? What do you know? Indeed.
Dire just fortified their structures. Something wicked at your middle tower. Your middle tower is not doing well.
Yes. Move it. Shield wall. God's moving. March. Nothing to it. For valor. Move out! I'll take it. Force march! All in! This way. I choose this path myself. Run if you must! Lovely golden larva.
Please be seated. Veuillez vous asseoir.
No doubt.
Maintenant, je vais...
I will now give the floor to the prosecutor. Please proceed with. Please continue with your presentation.
Your Honours. My name is Robin Croft, and I will address two topics today. First, I will present on the contextual elements of crimes against humanity. And second, I will set out some of the prosecution's evidence on Mr. Duterte's individual criminal responsibility for the crimes alleged in this case. Turning first then to the contextual elements. Your Honours, the contextual elements of crimes against humanity are established in this case because, first, there was an attack against the civilian population in the Philippines. The attack targeted civilians alleged to be involved in drug-related crimes and other forms of criminality. The Rome Statute crimes alleged in this case formed part of that attack. Second, the attack was widespread and systematic. And third, the attack was carried out pursuant to, or in furtherance of, a state or organisational policy. This policy was to neutralise alleged criminals in the Philippines through violent crimes, including murder. The evidence establishing the contextual elements are set out in paragraphs 71 to 86 of our pre-confirmation brief. In relation to the requirement of an attack, our case is that from at least the 1st of November 2011 to the 16th of March 2019, the Davao Death Squad, or DDS, and/or the National Network carried out an attack which targeted civilians alleged to be criminals. Your Honours have heard from my colleagues how from 2011 until 2016, the attack was concentrated in Davao City. Then, in 2016, when Mr. Duterte became president, he and his co-perpetrators expanded the attack nationwide. They used the national network to do this, which, as Mr. Jeremy has explained, was comprised of state actors, such as law enforcement personnel, as well as non-police assets and hitmen. Your Honours, the locations of the murders contained in counts 1 to 3 of our document containing the charges are indicated on the map on your screens. They include 76 murders, which themselves satisfy the threshold of multiple acts making up a course of conduct. However, as Mr. Nichols has noted, the crimes in count 1 to 3 are representative and emblematic of a larger killing campaign. And the prosecution relies on a range of evidence to establish that the attack was made up of thousands of killings and other violent crimes under Article 7.1.
Your middle tower is not doing well.
This evidence includes data sets and the statements of documentation actors, the evidence of insider witnesses, expert analysis, and the admissions of Philippine state agencies in their public reporting. I will take your honours through some of this evidence now. During Mr. Duterte's mayoral period, hundreds of civilians alleged to be criminals were killed in Davao City. On your screens is a chart with data on extrajudicial killings in Davao based on public reporting. The data is recorded at tab 116. It shows that between 2012 and 2015, there are at least 274 extrajudicial killings in Davao City.
I choose this path myself.
This data is corroborated by DDS insider witnesses. Several DDS witnesses say that they each killed hundreds of alleged criminals while with the DDS. Your Honours can see on this slide quotes from one DDS witness. They estimate that, I quote, between 1,500 and 2,000 people, end quote, are buried at Laud Quarry. The The quarry was only one of several places that the DDS dumped bodies in and around Davao. That's at tab 37. This witness said that they personally killed hundreds of people. They described their job as the DDS as being, quote, just to kill small criminals, petty criminals. Out of the almost 300 people that I have killed, I never actually got to kill a drug lord, end quote. That's at tab 34. This witness's words make it clear that the target of the attack was people alleged to be criminals in Davao. Your Honours, another DDS witness, who also killed hundreds of people, said that the DDS targeted, I quote, suspected criminals in Davao City, including shabu users and pushers, end quote. That's at tab 58. Your Honours, as you have heard previously, Mr Duterte has himself publicly admitted that he killed around 1,700 people while he was mayor of Davao City. I quote, they say I killed 700, they undercounted. Around 1,700, end quote. That's at tabs 10, 10.1, 10.2.
Almost.
This evidence, the data collected by independent organisations, the statements of insiders on the hundreds of people that they have each killed, and Mr Duterte's own admission of having killed 1,700 people while mayor of Davao, all show that the attack was widespread in the mayoral period.
Your bottom tower is
And the attack continued to be widespread after Mr Duterte became president, when it expanded across the country. The victimisation expanded, with the hundreds killed during the mayoral period, becoming thousands in the presidential period. Your Honours can see a map of the Philippines on the slide. The colours which will emerge show the locations and density of the killings in the anti-illegal drug campaign. Purple dots indicate an area with 1 to 10 killings, while yellow indicates 500 killings. This is how the killings progressed throughout the presidential period.
Give me a sec. Follow my lead.
Your Honours, this map is based on data collected by an independent organisation which recorded at least 5,823 anti-drug killings during the presidential period. This data is recorded at tab 104. The data shows that the attack during the presidential period was widespread. As Your Honours can see from the map, it occurred across the country. It occurred over multiple years, and thousands of civilians were killed. Mr Duterte's administration effectively admitted to the large volume of the attack. They admitted that thousands of individuals were killed in anti-drug operations while Mr Duterte was president. For example, in the Duterte administration's 2017 year-end report, which you can see on your screens, the administration admitted that 3,967 drug personalities died in anti-drug operations in the first year and a half of Mr Duterte's presidency. That's at tab 106. Similarly, the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, or PDEA, admitted that 5,281 drug personalities died in anti-drug operations in the first 2.5 years of Mr Duterte's presidency. This is at tab 98. These admissions corroborate the widespread nature of the attack. They show that thousands of individuals were killed. Your Honours, in addition to being widespread, the attack was also systematic from its origins and throughout the charge period. The features of DDS operations demonstrate this systematicity during the mayoral period. And these features can be found in our brief at paragraphs 35 to 36 and 88 to 98. Insider witnesses described how time and time again, killing operations followed the system set out on the screen. The same hierarchical structure was followed.
I'm not ready.
As Mr. Nichols explained, the orders flowed from Mr. Duterte at the top, through a combination of other co-perpetrators, to the handler of the relevant DDS team, and finally to the physical perpetrators at the bottom. The DDS team is composed of police and non-police assets and hitmen who carried out the killings. The features of the killings were also often markedly similar. The identity or whereabouts of the victim was provided to the DDS by an informant. The perpetrators would frequently arrive to or flee the crime scene by motorcycle. They shot or stabbed their victims at close range. The victims were targeted on the basis that they were alleged to be drug users, pushers, or other criminals. And the DDS received a sum of reward money for each kill. When the attack expanded during the presidential period, it continued to be systematic because it remained highly organised, planned, and coordinated. Similar systems to the one I've just described in Davao were deployed during Mr. Duterte's presidency to implement the killings. Your Honours can see some of those features listed on your screens. As in Davao, victims were targeted on the basis that they were alleged to be drug users, pushers, or other criminals. The process for killing the targets was often markedly similar. First, the victims were identified by state actors as targets and listed. As Mr. Jeremy has outlined, high-value targets were often listed on the PRRD list. The targets of barangay clearance operations were often listed on local drug lists, such as local police station lists. Second, targets were killed in the context of so-called law enforcement operations. Police often tried to legitimise the operations, so they would stage a nanlaban or fight-back scenario to make them to appear to have been in self-defence. They would also plant evidence, such as drugs and guns, on the victims' bodies. And third, as in Davao, police and those working with them were often paid reward money per kill. Your Honours, these killings were not random or coincidental. Quite the opposite. Targets were pre-identified, listed, and then subject to operations based on that list. This clearly demonstrates the systematicity of the attack. Your Honours, the last point I would like to make about the attack relates to the evidence of an expert witness who specialises in political violence in the Philippines. This expert analysed data relating to armed encounters between the PMP and supposedly armed suspects. He compared data from before Mr. Duterte's presidency to during. And based on this comparison, he found that in the first 25 months of Mr. Duterte's presidency, the number of suspects killed by police increased by 590% across the Philippines. And that finding is at tab 68. Your Honours have heard Mr. Jeremy speak about Bulacan, a province immediately north of Metro Manila, where Mr. Duterte praised the killing of 32 civilians in police operations in 24 hours. The expert witness found that in Bulacan, police killings rose by 1,600% when Mr. Duterte became president. And that's at tab 121. The expert also compared data on Bulacan Police's use of deadly force to other countries and cities across the world. He used the metric of police killings per 100,000 population. The chart on your screens shows this comparison, which is at tab 121 again.
Give me a sec.
The data on Bulacan is orange, while other countries and cities are blue. The orange bar on the left shows police use of deadly force in Bulacan before Mr. Duterte became president. You can see that with a fatality rate of over 1, it was already comparatively high. The orange bar on the right shows the dramatic increase in killings in Bulacan by police after Mr. Duterte became president. The expert concluded that, quote, the only plausible explanation for such an extreme ratio is a widespread policy of extrajudicial executions, end quote. That's also tab 121. Your Honours, this leads us to the policy requirement for crimes against humanity in Article 7. Your Honours, the attack in this case was carried out pursuant to a policy to neutralise alleged criminals through violent crimes, including murder. The policy was also known as the Davao Formula or model. Your Honours have heard about the origins of the policy in Davao City and how it was implemented by the local executive government. Mr. Nichols explained how Mr. Duterte, when Mayor of Davao City, established the Davao Death Squad to carry out the policy and kill criminals. The evidence establishing the state or organisational policy in this case is set out at paragraphs 77 to 84 of our brief. As the policy and the common plan were both to neutralise alleged criminals via violent crimes, there is some overlap between the evidence on each. I will set out some of that evidence now while discussing the policy, and then some later while discussing the common plan. The evidence includes Mr. Duterte's many public statements and speeches outlining the policy. It also includes the Command Memorandum Circular, which Mr. Jeremy mentioned earlier, witness accounts, speeches and statements by other co-perpetrators, sorry, the high level of coordination between state actors, sorry, Your Honours. I will start with Mr. Duterte's own speeches. Your Honours, Mr. Duterte made no secret of the policy, as is shown by the references in our brief to his many speeches outlining the policy. He made these speeches as Mayor of Davao, as a presidential candidate, and then as President of the Philippines. One example of a speech that Mr. Duterte made as Mayor was at a meeting on peace and order in Davao in October 2015. And that is tab 13.
A step towards victory. I choose this path myself. What chance have you?
8 hours yung mga nagdi-distribute ng droga sa Boulevard. Giving you 48 hours. Pag nakita ko kayo, papatayin ko kayo dito.
These are Mr. Duterte's own words. I quote, "I will kill you. That's the only formula that worked in my city." End quote. That is tab 133.
Don't push me.
Prangka-prangkahan talaga. I will kill you. Kayong na mayor ako ngayon, presidente, yun din ang, that's the only formula that worked in my city.
Your Honours will recall that yesterday, Mr. Nichols played a series of Mr. Duterte's presidential campaign speeches. I want to take a moment to reflect on some of the key features of those speeches, which are at tabs 8, 12 and 14. First, Mr. Duterte frequently said that if elected as president, he would stop drugs and crime in the Philippines in 3 to 6 months. He frequently referenced his experience in Davao, where he admitted that he had killed criminals. He said that if elected, he would order the military and police to do the same nationwide.
That
and he expressly stated that this would entail killing.
We go! Almost.
Your Honours, Mr Duterte's speeches make it clear that there was a policy to neutralise alleged criminals by violent means, including murder.
Almost there.
And Mr Duterte was not the only member of the Common Plan who disseminated the policy through public speeches and statements.
Utterly beyond repair.
In this video at tab 9, co-perpetrator Mr De La Rosa addresses a crowd of self-confessed drug addicts in Bacolod City and urges them to kill drug lords and burn their houses.
But on Thursday, National Police Chief Ronald De La Rosa's rhetorics were far from toned down, as he told hundreds of self-confessed drug users and pushers in Bacolod City to kill drug lords.
Mr De La Rosa made this speech on the 25th of August 2016. At the time, he was the chief of the Philippine National Police.
I'm not ready.
Your Honours, the existence of the policy is also shown by the police directive which Mr Jeremy spoke about earlier, Command Memorandum Circular number 16 of 2016. This is at tab 112. As Your Honours have heard, the day after Mr Duterte became president, he appointed his longtime friend and colleague from Davao, his co-perpetrator, Mr Ronald De La Rosa, as chief of the Philippine National Police. On the same day, Mr De La Rosa formalised the anti-drugs component of the policy by issuing this directive to the 180,000 police officers under his command. The circular directed police to pursue the neutralisation of illegal drug personalities. As Mr Jeremy has outlined, the evidence shows that within law enforcement, neutralise meant and was understood as meaning to kill. Your Honours, the Command Memorandum Circular shows there was a policy to neutralise through violent crimes, such as murder.
A spot of trouble at your top tower.
I will now turn to part 2 of my presentation on Mr Duterte's individual criminal responsibility.
Your top tower craves
The
your
prosecution's evidence on this is set out at paragraphs 5 to 70 of our brief.
Then your top tower
The prosecution
falls to pieces.
alleges that Mr Duterte indirectly co-perpetrated the crimes, ordered and/or induced the crimes, and/or aided and abetted the crimes. Today, in the interest of time, I will focus on indirect co-perpetration, and we rely on our brief for the other modes of liability.
Not doing well.
Your Honours, Mr Duterte is an indirect co-perpetrator of the alleged crimes because first, he agreed to a common plan to neutralise alleged criminals. Second, he and his fellow co-perpetrators jointly controlled a structure of power, namely the Davao Death Squad and the National Network, which they used to pursue the common plan. Third, Mr Duterte made an essential contribution to the crime within the framework of the common plan. And fourth, he did this with the requisite intent. Your Honours can see on your screens an excerpt from paragraph 4 of our document containing the charges. This sets out the scope of the common plan. The plan was to neutralise alleged criminals in the Philippines, including those perceived or alleged to be associated with drug use, sale or production through violent crimes, including murder.
Is being invaded.
As Mr Nichols has explained, Mr Duterte and his co-perpetrators agreed to this plan in Davao City. Photos of the co-perpetrators in Davao City are displayed on your screens. They're a combination of trusted police officers, an individual from Mr. Duterte's mayoral office, an officer from the National Bureau of Investigation in Davao region, and a lawyer who acted on behalf of certain members of the Davao Death Squad. In 2016, when Mr. Duterte became president, the members of the Common Plan remained largely the same. They were joined by a further two individuals, a senior police officer and a long-time colleague of the group from Davao City, who had worked with the DDS before the jurisdictional period. I will take your honours through some of the evidence which shows both the scope of the Common Plan and the co-perpetrators' agreement to it. In the interest of time, I will address some co-perpetrators and we rely on our brief for the rest. That's at paragraphs 9 to 23 of our brief. On your screens is a photograph of Mr. Ronald De La Rosa. When Mr. De La Rosa was Davao City Police Chief, he developed Tokhang operations. As your honours have heard from Mr. Jeremy, Tokhang was a blueprint for police to implement killings later in the presidential period. When he was announced as Mr. Duterte's chosen PMP chief in May 2016, Mr. De La Rosa gave this interview, which is at tab 101. It shows that he wholeheartedly agreed to the Common Plan.
Patayan sa drugs. Patayan talaga ito sa drugs. Kayong mga drug lord dyan, humanda na kayo at talagang sasagasaan ko kayo.
On this slide is a photo of Isidro La Peña. Like Mr. De La Rosa, Mr. La Peña was well known to Mr. Duterte because he too had worked as Davao City Police Chief. In his case, from 1996 until 1998. In 2016, Mr. Duterte appointed Mr. La Peña as Director General of the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, or PDEA. PDEA is the lead anti-drug enforcement agency in the Philippines. 2 days after Mr. La Peña took his oath, he gave a speech to his PDEA subordinates. There is an excerpt from that speech on the slide. Quote, "Under then Mayor, we implemented strict law enforcement against illegal drug activities in Davao City. The President wants to replicate and expand what is being done in Davao. And that is precisely what I intend to do." End quote. That's tab 101. Also like Mr. De La Rosa, Vicente Danao was Davao City Police Chief during the mayoral period. In his case, from 2013 to 2016. In November 2018, he was appointed Police Chief of Manila Police District, and he told reporters, quote, "If I discover anyone involved in drugs, especially those who distribute or just throw them around, son of a bitch, I will go after you, goddamn. I will kill you. Blatantly, I am saying that. Sons of bitches." End quote. That's tab 96. When Mr. Duterte became president, he appointed Vitaliano Aguirre II as Secretary of Justice. Mr. Aguirre has also publicly acknowledged the Common Plan and his agreement to it as a member of Mr. Duterte's administration.
Well, which do you want? We build first. Do we build the prison facilities first, or do we go against these people? Choose. If you're in the Philippines, we will choose to kill these drug lords.
Quote, "In the Philippines, we will choose to kill these drug lords." End quote. That's tab 125. Your Honours, these speeches of co-perpetrators show both the scope of the Common Plan and those co-perpetrators' agreement to it.
With pleasure. Your middle tower is under attack.
Your Honours, the next element of indirect co-perpetration is control of a structure of power. In the mayoral period, Mr. Duterte and his co-perpetrators controlled the DDS, which they used to pursue the common plan.
I'm not ready.
There is a diagram of DDS hierarchy on your screens. As the mayor of Davao City, Mr. Duterte sat at the apex of the formal and city structures. The law gave him formal operational, supervision and control over the police in Davao City. In addition to this de jure power, insider witnesses spoke about his de facto power over police and the DDS structure. Under Mr. Duterte were a combination of co-perpetrators from the Davao City Police Office and the Mayor's Office. Together with Mr. Duterte, they controlled the DDS teams beneath them. They controlled the will of the DDS perpetrators through a range of mechanisms. And these are set out in paragraph 38 of our brief and include threats to kill and actual killing. To illustrate this control, there are quotes from one witness on your screen. This witness said that when he was first told to kill, he did not want to. But, I quote, "I felt like I didn't have any other choice but to follow their orders. Duterte is the most powerful person in Davao City, and you had to do what he wanted. It wasn't possible not to not obey his command." End quote. This is tab 51. When Mr. Duterte became president, the co-perpetrators continued to control a structure of power. One of the first things that Mr. Duterte did with his new presidential powers was to appoint his co-perpetrators from Davao to national positions in government and law enforcement, which were key to the common plan. And after he appointed Mr. De La Rosa as chief of the PMP, Mr. De La Rosa used his new powers to move other police co-perpetrators into key policing roles. These new appointments expanded the geographic powers of the co-perpetrators and allowed them to create a larger network of individuals they controlled. Your Honours can see that structure of power on the chart on your screens. The co-perpetrators controlled the executive, they controlled the police, they controlled the Drug Enforcement Agency, the National Bureau of Investigation, and the Department of Justice. And they used this control to ensure that their subordinates carried out the plan to neutralise alleged criminals through violent crimes. For example, as PMP chief, Mr. De La Rosa now controlled some 180,000 police officers, who, as you have heard, he directed to neutralise drug personalities. Ms. De La Peña now controlled 1,800 Philippine drug enforcement personnel. They used these subordinates as physical perpetrators to commit the crimes. Mr. Aguirre, as Secretary of Justice, now had control of the National Prosecution Service. He used this control to ensure that, except for a handful of low-level perpetrators in notorious cases, the crimes were not prosecuted, and a climate of impunity prevailed. And the co-perpetrators controlled the will of the physical perpetrators. As in Davao City, low-level members of the national network risked losing their jobs or being killed if they did not comply. For example, Your Honours can see the evidence of a police insider on your screens. He said that if his boss did not kill enough people during police operations, he would lose his post and be replaced. I quote, "We were told that there should be 5 to 10 deaths per month. The regional director called him and told him that if there were no deaths or no recorded killings, then he would be relieved of his duty." End quote. That's tab 124. Now on your screens is the evidence of an individual who police suspected of involvement in drugs. He surrendered to police to avoid being killed.
Your agent is under attack.
The police held his status as an alleged drug pusher against him and recruited him as an asset. They made him kill other civilians who were alleged to be involved with drugs. He said, quote, "I surrendered myself to them. I knew that they wanted to kill me, so I became an asset of theirs," end quote. That's at tab 22. Civilians who are alleged to be involved with drugs. Your Honours, I will now turn to the requirement of an essential contribution. Mr. Duterte made an essential contribution to the crimes within the framework of the Common Plan.